I've done various jobs, not all of them enjoyable, and I realized that being shut up indoors all day long really wasn't my thing. As soon as I came here, I knew this was where I wanted to settle.
Meadows, forests, mountains and lakes cover an area of about 85,000 square kilometres. In the middle of this wild landscape lies Clermont-Ferrand, the capital of the Auvergne. The city is built in the centre of a former volcano. Its historic district and impressive cathedral were built on top of the crater. Notre-Dame de l'Assomption is a masterpiece of Gothic architecture. It was built in the 13th century from dark grey stone formed from lava, volvic basalt. It towers over the old town, rising to a height of nearly 100 meters. Beneath it, the historic centre, once known as Montferrand, has retained its medieval layout and character. Its interlacing streets reveal yet more gems in the form of fountains, statues, and the facades of old town houses. A few miles from the city lies one of Europe's biggest ranges of former volcanoes. No longer active or dormant, they are all different ages, and they come in different shapes and sizes. They have held a fascination for dreamers, artists, and scientists alike throughout the ages.
When you're up here, the volcanoes have a grandeur about them, and you can see for hundreds of miles in all directions. You can even see the Alps on a clear day. It's really quite something. When you're on horseback, the panorama is on another scale. You really feel at one with these mountains. People travel to the ends of the earth to see landscapes like this one. We might not have the sea in the Auvergne, but we have a huge array of landscapes. It's wonderful. This region is timeless. It's hard to imagine that elsewhere in the world the biodiversity is being eroded and the environment damaged. This place feels protected from all of that.
Alexandre Letort is a weather forecaster. He uses these mountains for observation purposes. Every day, he goes off the beaten track to explore this rich and varied landscape. With its numerous streams and volcanic lakes, this region is seen as France's water tower. Lying peacefully at 1,244 meters above sea level, Lake Geary is the highest lake in the Auvergne. As with so many other lakes in the region, it was formed following a volcanic eruption. 2 million years ago, the lava flow blocked a mountain stream, forming this perfectly oval-shaped pool of water.
Come on, because there won't be any more water after this. Drink. You get thirsty if you don't. Traveling on horseback's non-polluting and allows you to be in contact with nature. And it's very useful in my line of work because it allows me to cover more ground. It's not just a means of transport, it's a traveling companion. We're very close. This is a very calm horse too, it goes everywhere with me. Really is the best way to get around in nature. I've done various jobs, not all of them enjoyable, and I realized that being shut up indoors all day long really wasn't my thing. As soon as I came here, I knew this was where I wanted to settle.
A few years later, Alexandre became the official meteorologist for Sancy and the Chaîne des Puys. He observes and analyzes past and current weather conditions in order to make his predictions, which he then conveys to users of the national park. These volcanoes in Auvergne are subject to influences from both land and sea. It is a mountainous region, so all sorts of weather conditions are possible there.
This is an anemometer, which measures wind speed. This is just a gentle breeze blowing at around 10 to 20 kilometers an hour, perhaps a tiny bit more, so it's not very windy. But in some areas, especially on the ridges, when there's a storm blowing, the wind can reach speeds of 150 or even over 200 kilometers an hour. It's quite a challenge to measure that. This is an invaluable tool for understanding the airflow in the mountains, which is very hard to predict. You need to observe to understand. Then you're in a better position to predict the weather. For example, we generally get summer storms here. Storms form here because the winds converge. So many people here are dependent on the weather forecast, whether they're skiers, ramblers, rock climbers or mountaineers, because we can get extreme weather conditions here. It can be dangerous. I've been fascinated by the weather for a very long time. When I was a boy, I wasn't your average kid. I didn't want normal presents, such as cars and tractors. I wanted presents linked to the weather, such as a weather station or a book on the weather. I have no rational explanation for that, but my parents taking me to the Auvergne when I was a boy definitely made me even more obsessed with the weather. I thought, wow, there's an area of France which has extremely diverse and changeable weather conditions. I would be totally fulfilled observing all of that.